This may be one of the most unique opportunities for someone to own property out in Maui if they're looking for creative financing, not having to deal with banks, owning tons of acreage, having an ocean view, and the kicker is you probably could double your money in less than a year. If you want to get all the details, stick around. See you on the other side. What's going on, guys? I know that was a unique hook to bring you into this video, but this is a very unique situation that the sellers have found themselves in, and it opens up an opportunity for a very creative buyer to pick up an amazing property and potentially come up on a huge equity play. Now, in this video, I'm going to go over everything that you need to know about this property. We're going to, of course, go over the property details. We're going to go over some of the different creative financing options because financing land can be quite a challenge. We're also going to go over the opportunity of if you build on this property, how much you could actually pull out of it when it comes to equity. And additionally, some of the other bonuses that's going to make this process very smooth for anybody who wants to take on this property, as if you go the conventional route, I'm going to explain why that's usually pretty difficult and very expensive when it comes to going that conventional route. But this one, it's much more creative. Now, before we jump into that, if this is your first time here, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Longley. I'm a licensed agent out here in Hawaii, helping buyers, sellers, and investors with their real estate needs. If you have any questions about this property or anything when it comes to real estate out here in Hawaii, feel free to reach out to me. Got my contact information right here, or you can directly DM me on any of my social media platforms. With that being said, let's get into the details of this property, the opportunities, and the creative solutions that the sellers are offering to an interested buyer. Now, if you're at this video, you're most likely interested in buying land, but let's go over the challenges of purchasing land out here in Hawaii. When I say land, I'm talking about just land. There's no actual structures on it. And that's one of the biggest challenges. Is usually when you buy raw land, the first challenge that you have is it's very difficult to get a loan on that property. Generally, you can get a loan from the bank, but that's going to require 30 to 50% down payment just to buy the raw land. And generally, if it's just raw land, you can't really live on it unless you pitch a tent. Which brings us to the next issue. A lot of the times when you're buying raw land, it doesn't have electricity. It doesn't have water. You basically have just a patch of grass. So it makes it very difficult to actually live there. So you have the issue of actually getting a loan, and you have the issue of actually paying a mortgage on something that you put a very large down payment on that you can't actually live on. And the third challenge that usually comes with land is people have grandiose plans to actually build a home on that land, but it can take years to actually get the permits approved before you can even start building. So you're looking at least 1 to 2 years from when you get your permits to actually completing the building of your home. And that's actually if you were to do it fast. Now, what if I told you that the sellers of this property that I'm just about to show you has solved all of these issues essentially for you and can completely take care of all those issues right up front? Well, let's first go over what this property is, and then I'll show you how those problems that we just discussed are completely solved with this unique opportunity. So let's first check out this video of me walking you through the property, and then I'll get into the finer details. Nestled just off the legendary road to Hana, where adventure meets tranquility, lies a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. Welcome to 44 Hana Road. So now on the top part of the property, not only do we have the luxury shed, community yurt, as well as the bathrooms, but down below, we have a living quarters with 3 beautiful yurts. Now, one of the challenging parts about owning ag land is when you want to build an actual structure to live in, it can be quite a difficult process when it comes to the permitting.
and with the city. Now, fortunately, the seller has already taken care of this headache. You have no headaches you have to worry about, as he has all the permits in place to build an actual structure where you and your family can live in, either on the front part of the lot and or on the backside right behind me. So if you're ready to escape to your own private oasis without sacrificing convenience, set up a private showing to see this beautiful property in person. I'm Patrick with PatrickLongleyRealty.com, powered by eXp Realty. Hope you have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you soon. Aloha.
Okay guys, so as you saw, it is an absolutely stunning property. Ocean views, 2.89 acres. You actually have yurts that are in place that you can actually live in currently if you so choose. But the challenge is with this property, those yurts, even though they are livable and you have bathroom and hot water and solar and plumbing and laundry and pretty much everything you need, a lender is not going to loan on this property because they're not an actual lendable structure, which keeps the valuation down for now. But the sellers are offering seller financing where you don't even have to deal with the bank. The seller will be the bank for you, where you can negotiate the monthly payment, the down payment, and the terms, or how long that loan is. This is one of the beauties of seller financing, is that it's less strict and there's negotiating that can happen. It's not that the bank just says, this is the down payment that's required and that's it. The seller is willing to negotiate seller financing for anybody who wants, for anybody who's interested in this property, and provides the documentation that they request. So our first issue of having an actual loan and having to put 30 to 50% down may not be required, because seller financing can be negotiated where it could be maybe a lower down payment, maybe a more attractive monthly payment, maybe terms that are more attractive while you go into the next step, which we'll discuss later. The second issue we discuss is you generally cannot live on land. It's just a grass patch. But as you saw in this property right here, you could actually live in the property now. It has a place you can cook. It's got a bathroom, a shower, a washer, tankless water heater, solar system, multiple yurts that you could actually sleep in, and of course, plenty of parking and a beautiful ocean view. Oh, did I also mention, as you saw, there's a waterfall just down the street. So the sellers have solved the strict loan issues. The sellers also have a property that you can actually live in right now. And the third problem that they solved is that all the permits that are required to build 2 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes on this property have already been approved and put into place. As you can see right here, all the sketches from Honsador, which are pre-built homes, have been approved by Maui's Department of Planning and Permitting. All you generally need to do at this point is just build them. And we actually have all the plans. We have the costs that you can probably expect in regards to that. And because the permits are already in place, you don't have to wait 1 to 2 years. Additionally, because it's a Honsador prefabbed home, and they're gorgeous, by the way, check out some of these renders that you can see. This is just one of the homes right here, and this is the other 3-bedroom, 2-bath. You could probably build these homes in just a few months, opposed to 1 to 2 years if you were to do a standard wooden framed house. So not only has the seller essentially solved the 3 problems that generally come with buying land, you don't have to worry about dealing with a bank when it comes to a large down payment and getting the loan. You actually don't have to worry about just camping in a tent that you have to buy from Walmart. There are actual structures that you can live in and live a good life out there off the grid. And thirdly, if you do want to build homes, there are 2 approved permits for, and sketches and plans for actually building 2 3-bedroom, 2-baths on this property. Now, the bonus and the juicy part to this, and most of the time your real estate agent should be showcasing this to you, is what would the value of that property be if you were to actually put those 2 homes on there? Well, as you can see right here, scanning through my computer, I did actually take a look at if we were looking at properties in the general vicinity that had square footage equal to what we have here on this property. After it's built, you could see a valuation of that property anywhere on the low end to 1.6 upwards to 2 million plus. Okay guys, so just to kind of show you, here's some properties that sold in the last 12 months that are in the Haiku area. Here's a property very similar to ours that has a single family home as well as an attached Hana unit, similar to what we would have basically set up. Now these homes are, as you can see, a little bit older, a little bit of a different style, but more importantly, I don't believe this actually even has an ocean view, which can add a significant amount of value. So it doesn't even look like this one has an ocean view. It does have that Ohana suite, definitely a different vibe, but this one sold for 1.65. We've got another one here. Again, doesn't have an ocean view. It does have this is just a single family home that sold for 1.7. It's only a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. We can see the square footage wise is just under, I want to say 2.5 acres. So similar to our size, selling for 1.7. That one actually sold. This one sold for 1.7 as well. Only 2.1 acres, as you can see here. Moving on, and it just goes on and on. 1.7. This one was only 2 acres. We can see this one here sold for 1.749, only 2 acres. These are all single family homes without an attached Ohana unit. That extra unit adds a lot more value, probably a couple extra 150, 200 grand at least. This one sold for 1.895. This one sold for 2.2, only a single family home. And this one sold for 2.395 and only a single family home. But this one had an ocean view like ours. So I would probably lean closer to the valuation of probably about 1.75 to 1.95 to be conservative. It looks like some units could even push up higher. But again, I want to be conservative here and give you realistic numbers. Worst case scenario, you're looking to build at least $700,000 plus in equity by building those 2 homes. Probably more, because we can see this one's only a single family home and a lot of those other ones don't even have an extra unit. So that just kind of gives you an idea that there is a lot of opportunity here. You technically could potentially double your money with this property, and this is in the format that I would do it in regards to timeline. I would buy this property and negotiate the seller financing on how we would want to actually structure the monthly payment, the down payment, and the term. I'd get a better understanding of how long it would actually take to build these Honsador homes, as well as the cost, and make sure you have the money to do that, because that's really where the tires hit the road here. Once you actually build these homes, which I would expect to not take longer than 6 months max, maybe shorter than that because they are prefabbed homes, given that they can be shipped here in a timely manner, you don't have much of holding costs. And once you actually build those homes, you can actually get a new loan that probably would be valued at 1.6 plus, and you would actually be able to pull the equity out and pay off the seller financing. And now you have a normal conventional 30-year fixed loan on this beautiful property with 2 homes on it. And not to mention, you have tons of equity that you just built in this home, and you did it in a speedy manner where normal people going the normal route, buying the raw land, putting in a septic tank and a water catchment system and solar and waiting for the permits, not being able to live there, waiting 2 years and paying a mortgage payment for 2 years until you can actually build. All of these issues have been completely removed. So with that being said, guys, that is a lot of information to digest. If you have any questions about this property, feel free to reach out to me. I got my contact information right here. You can also click the link down below to book a call with me or one of my teammates so we can discuss this property with you, and of course set up a private showing if you're so inclined to check it out. And I definitely suggest doing so. It is a stunner of a property. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Aloha.